Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us. I'm really looking forward to talking about, of course, some of your past and your current single. I mean, incredible song, very uplifting. And I want to give you your flowers for that because it's
Thank
needed
you.
for sure. So, I mean, you have been doing this music thing for so long and with your previous hits that you've had to now, how would you compare where you were, back in 2024 years ago to now?
Do you know what? It's been such a wholesome journey because even talking about like the new song in your hands, if going back to if I could go back to my younger self and be like, Craig, like if I could change anything and had the opportunity to do something, I wouldn't even change a single thing. I'd like to just witness the courage and the ability to be a little against the grain, to be growing up in Southampton in the UK, heavily influenced by the R&B and hip hop in America, but yet find a lane that at some point you have the Rodney Jerkins and the Timberlands of this world saying, you know what, there's some kid called Craig David, and I don't know, he's doing this garage thing, and it's R&B and this film, and I just feel it's so wholesome that I can be in this 24 years down the line and continuously creating music that always has the USP of R&B, but
Mm.
it can have tinges and the production can take me into different lanes. And I think that's what makes me smile because it's always R&B slow jams in my head. Everything I do is just one big R&B slow jam, but it's just the production takes you into different lanes.
Yeah. So as far as those different lanes, and of course R&B really being that, meaningful genre for you. Of course, there's other ways that you can tap into different genres as well. But, what
Mhm.
is R&B for you right now?
Do you know what? As in terms of my feeling about R&B, like I said, it just runs through my veins. It's something that I personally feel so affiliated with. Like when I hear a run or just a riff that someone does and it just hits me, it's like, oh yeah, 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 yeah. It's like, yeah, that's the thing. And then if you've got lyrically, you're saying something behind that as well. That I
Mm.
find is really profound. I feel I got a lot of respect for people who are also using their voice to really touch people and heal people without them even knowing it. That's really what R&B is because it hits your heart before it gets to your head, and then
Yeah.
you're just like, oh, and it moves your body in such a way that's incredible. But the current state of R&B, it's a beautiful thing, and especially for female artists in the R&B scene, because I just feel like there's just a we're having a moment where it's just like glow up season. It's like for such a long time it was, you know, the the kind of very melancholy. The guy wants to come and save you, and and the whole story. And now it's women who you're seeing money long. And it's like, cool, we don't need to be saved right now. Just need to let you know a few things about yourself. And I'm just like, it's in a beautiful way. It's not. It's almost giving me Khalees, like I hate you, but not having to say that. It's just like, let's not do the narcissistic thing. Let's not do the we need to be saved thing. Let's just be here together and communicate and see each other. And that's why Money Long, like her her latest album, I really hope does wonderful things because she's just such an
For them,
incredible artist. And
it is.
Seven and her and it's just there's so many great people in the scene. I'm just really happy to see it. It's wholesome.
Yeah, no, and in your hands,
Mm.
extremely wholesome. I really want to get into that. I was looking at the lyrics and, it really resonated with me. And I want to know, like, give me a little bit of the creative direction behind that for sure. And then also, what made you decide to create this work of art and what it means to you?
Firstly, I just love that you say work of art. That just it makes me smile. And when it's seen as artistry, it's a piece of art you put on your wall. And I love that because otherwise, it can easily get into like, how many streams did it do? Did it do the thing? Did it? And you're like, no, it's just a piece of art, right? Like, let's just appreciate where it's at. I've got to say that I wanted to create something when I was in the studio. Firstly, when I'm in the studio, I'm not overthinking it. It's just like there's a guitar riff. Mike Brainchild, who produced the records with me, co-wrote it with me, plays a guitar riff. I'm singing, I was a young boy, I was a young boy. So I was just like, oh, I'm in my feels. We're good. We're good. We're good right now. Then I was like, we started to play with different melodies for the chorus. And I had a completely different chorus melody for what it actually ended up being. But then as
Mhm.
I left the studio, we we were happy. The vibe was cool. Mike's just about to pull out the cable for his computer, but it's still running in the background. I can hear it, and then I get this like, you gotta, you gotta. I'm like, ooh, I don't know where that came from because I haven't sung that song for years. Like that,
Mm.
I can remember it back in the day, and it's
Yeah.
such a profound song. It means so much. It's a special song. It means so much to so many people. But it never to dawned on me to pop into my head, but to me to sing it over what I just done in the studio. So I ran back in and I'm singing it, and he's like, "Bro, what's that?" And I said, "Bro, you know what that is?" And he's like, "Bro, I'm gonna put the plug back in, get on the microphone, cut the
We're
vocal
not
quick."
done yet.
That
Yeah.
one of those ones. And then
Mhm.
it took about 8 months of living with that song for
Mhm.
me to, and it was more courage to find the courage to be like, you know what? I feel that with the context of what I'm saying in the verses of I was a young boy, I was a young boy, I was 12 years old, could have been younger. And then the next verse of I was a young boy, my garden's grown, and now I'm wiser now. Those things are really important to kind of, if I got context with this chorus, which is so well known, it allows one, that very special song to be heard again and
Mhm.
not just to be confined to I remember when I was at school and we used to sing that or we used to do that in church or we used to do it in certain classes. No, 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 it's more it's like I got a download. I don't know where it came from. I just need to get out of the way and let
Mhm.
it come through. And I feel that all of the melodies that I added to that felt like they landed to give it context. And the courage, as I said, was to get out of the way and just be like, go with it. Like
Yeah.
it's a piece of art that needs to be heard. And
It
I'm
is.
seeing people who didn't know the original, people who are 15, 16-year-old kids who are like,
Yeah.
they're like, wow. And then their
Yeah.
parents are like, yeah, we used to sing. And then they're in the car on the way to school, they're like, we got the whole world. And
Mhm.
I'm like, this is the most empowered song. You truly have got the world in your hand.
Yeah.
Meet God, the universe halfway. There's no, like I said in a couple of interviews, right? I couldn't have even made Born to do it if I didn't know how to plug a microphone in or record. That's the part where you've got to show up. The rest will
Yeah.
come through channeled, through your
Yeah.
body, through the vocals, through the melodies. But
Yeah.
my man, meet me halfway. Please learn how to plug the microphone in and press on and press record. Otherwise, there's
Exactly.
no. And that's the dance that we need to do. And I just
Yeah.
felt like it brought it all back. So,
It did, and it's something that I like is because like, you can anybody can listen to it. Like,
mm,
R&B enthusiasts, gospel, like, it kinda, anyone, you can listen to it in the car with your kids, and so what message do you hope that listeners gain from listening to it?
I love that. That's a great question. I hope that it hits the heart chakra, blows that wide open, and before it gets to your head to even think, one, like I said, to feel empowered. I mean, imagine like the literal form of it of a woman holding her baby and being I'm holding the whole world in my hands, like literally. And then at the same time holding someone's hand. Like there's so many facets of that song.
Mhm.
And and also to tap into our inner child. I think that's the real takeaway. I want young kids to feel inspired that you truly do have the world in your hands. You're always guided. Follow your intuition, stay in your heart. You'll make the right decisions. And if you make the wrong ones, you'll always be course corrected. That's calm. And as an adult, to feel like there's that inner child is always in you trying to scream for attention. Can we just play? Why is this whole thing got serious? When did we sign up for the adult thing become serious? Nobody
Life
signed up
starts
for that.
lifing,
You know what I'm
right?
saying?
Yeah.
Responsibilities come. Don't get me wrong. Bills got to get paid. You know what I mean? Got roof over the head, food on your. I get it. But does that mean that when you're doing things that are very mundane or you're having to deal with those things, that the kid can't say, let's go for a walk in the park. Let me go buy ice cream. Let me go listen to that song that makes me feel some type of way that I haven't
Yeah.
heard. These little choices that bring the child back. And I feel like the world needs this more than ever because it's these things that make us feel whole and connected in a world that will try and tell you it's divisive, sorry, and that people it's all divided. And you're like, it's so not, it's not like that, but you're fed that. The world's about to end tomorrow. It's not. We're vibing. We're having a
Yeah.
good time. We're connecting
Absolutely. Yeah.
music, and I think that's so important. We need this, and that's why I love what you do because you hold space for people to speak their truth, so they can have another format to talk to people. It's all a caring, sharing community, right?
All of that is so crucial in life. Like you have to have spaces to be able to be creative and to talk and to share your feelings and just be vulnerable, whatever it is. You have
Mm.
to have those spaces as human beings. And I think sometimes that does get, swept under the rug because, you have this thing that you got to be a certain way or whatever, but giving somebody a soft space to land on. And I think that's what In Your Hands does for sure. So
I
of course.
love that. A soft space to land on. No, you got that. You understand. I love that.
Yeah,
A
I
soft space to
do.
land on. That's you feel comfortable in that. That feels like a
Yeah.
good, nice, soft duvet. Just land and it's yeah.
You're making
Appreciate it.
me blush. I'm not gonna
No, but
lie.
real
I love
talk though.
this
I it's so
everything.
wholesome because just one quick thing. I know it's that I found when I do interviews or when I'm being interviewed, like I just love to get to know someone that I'm actually speaking to because that's a human to human connection rather than we can do the spiel thing where it's like, okay, cool, we're gonna hit all the markers and I'll tell you about the tour, I'll tell you about the album, I'll tell you about the single, which is cool because that's what the crux of it is. But when I look and I can see you there and we're having this convo, I go away feeling like I've connected with someone today as opposed to means to an end. We did our thing, you go on to the next, I go on my thing. No,
Yeah.
we're here, we'll get the markers, but we just
I'm
vibing,
loving
man.
this. It's becoming a favorite for sure.
I
I'm
appreciate it.
loving this conversation. So I know you don't have a whole lot of time, but I do want to ask you
Mm.
one thing. So, you release In Your Hands. What do you see coming up next?
Okay, so one is to just swim in this whole moment, like let it marinate, it can only just become even more connected and more profound in its own journey it's going to do. Step out the way. I've got a tour coming that I'm starting in February called Commitment Tour. We're doing an arena tour here in the UK, but the catalyst for that is to then come over to the States and do a fully fledged tour there. So I love that we're setting up in the UK, get it honed and oiled up well. So then
Mhm.
when we come over, it's just the machine is working beautifully. You're hearing the vocals because we ironed out any kinks that we needed to early
Right,
doors. And a
right.
new album called Commitment 2, which is dropping the top end of next year too. So I'm just good stuff. I'm excited about everything.